10 most fascinating mysterious aspects of ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, one of the earliest and most mysterious civilizations in human history. When we think of Egypt, we immediately envision the grand pyramids and chilling tales of mummies. With a history spanning over 4,000 years, there are countless mystical stories yet to be uncovered about this enigmatic civilization along the banks of the Nile. Today, let's explore together some of the most fascinating mysteries of ancient Egypt. 1. The Pharaoh's Curse. The Pharaoh's Curse is the most terrifying obsession in the mysterious tales of Egypt. The belief in this curse spread widely since 1922, when archaeologist Howard Carter and his sponsor, Lord Carnarvon, discovered the ancient tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings. After the initial joy of the world-shaking archaeological find, a series of bizarre and horrifying deaths befell the expedition members and those associated. It is said to be Pharaoh's punishment for those who disturb his 1,000-year slumber. Particularly eerie is the alignment of the deaths of the victims with the curse inscribed within Pharaoh's tomb. This mystical curse has even been considered as the supernatural cause behind the sinking of the Titanic, one of the most shocking events of the 20th century. There are many scientific explanations proposed for Pharaoh's curse, however, to this day, the terrifying story of the Egyptian Pharaoh's curse remains a hindrance to scientists eager to explore more about ancient Egypt. 2. Building the pyramids. Pyramids stand as one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history, shrouded in numerous mysteries regarding how ancient Egyptians could construct such unparalleled wonders. Pyramids served as the final resting place for pharaohs and housed the grandest secrets of ancient Egypt. Over 130 pyramids have been discovered in Egypt by archaeologists. These monumental structures were constructed from massive natural stone blocks, each weighing over 10 tons, sculpted into identical square blocks. The most profound mystery that modern scientists are still diligently investigating is: how did the ancient Egyptians transport and precisely position these massive stone blocks and seamlessly connect them together? Numerous theories exist to explain this puzzle, and scientists continue their research to provide the most insightful answers. 3. Love potions of ancient Egypt. In addition to revenge spells, epitomized by the Pharaoh's curse, ancient Egyptians were renowned for their skill in creating love potions. They had various methods of crafting love spells documented in ancient texts. If someone desired eternal love from another, they would concoct a special mixture and add it to the target's drink instantly. The person would fall in love and be devoted forever. There were different types of love potions, ones to enchant someone or upon first meeting, to bind existing lovers together, and more. Beyond love potions, ancient Egyptians also had different love charm spells based on different symbols and drawings. Besides bringing love to single individuals or happiness to couples, these Egyptian love charms were also used to facilitate breakups. Sometimes, these charms were even employed to attempt glimpses into the future or to heal various illnesses. 4. Worship of animal-headed deities. We can observe that the most significant gods in ancient Egyptian worship were deities with animal heads, human bodies with animal heads. For example, Anubis, the god of mummification portrayed with the head of a wild dog, Bastet, the cat-headed goddess associated with home, and Isis, the cow-headed goddess overseeing motherhood and children, among others. One explanation for venerating these gods in animal form is that ancient Egyptians had a close connection with nature and believed in the power of the natural world. Due to their reverence for these deities, ancient Egyptians also honored and worshipped various animals such as cats, dogs, monkeys, lions, crocodiles, cobras, considering them as messengers or embodiments of the divine. Anyone disrespecting or harming these sacred creatures within temple premises faced brutal punishments for offending the divine beings. 5. Related to extraterrestrial beings. One of the theories regarding the construction of the pyramids suggests that they were built by extraterrestrial beings. This notion arises from a photo captured by NASA from Mars. Within the image is a structure believed to be a pyramid on the surface of Mars, sparking debates within the modern scientific community. The question emerges, could the pyramids in Egypt be the work of extraterrestrial beings? Many argue that this is merely a conspiracy theory. In fact, the hieroglyphics on the pyramids prove them to be magnificent and highly sophisticated creations of ancient Egyptian astronomers, mathematicians, architects, and more. The mystery of extraterrestrial involvement in pyramid construction remains unsolved, leaving much to be explored and proven about this speculation. 6. Servants buried with pharaohs. Many believe that after pharaohs passed away, their servants and slaves were buried alongside them to serve them in the afterlife. In reality, only the first of pharaohs practiced this cruel act. In later times, pharaohs showed more mercy by replacing living slaves with small figurines. After being interred with pharaohs, these human-shaped figures would become loyal servants to the pharaohs throughout their journey in the afterlife. Not only were servants buried with pharaohs, but the ancient Egyptians also prepared various items such as utensils, food, drinks, and clothing. Buried alongside the kings, they believed these items would be utilized in the afterlife. In that realm, the lives of the pharaohs would continue, sustained by these provisions. 7. Pregnancy tests using wheat. One of the intriguing aspects of the highly advanced medical knowledge of ancient Egypt was their use of wheat to conduct pregnancy tests. They observed that pregnant women tended to be sensitive to strong-smelling foods. Consequently, they mixed beer and barley grains for women who wished to check for pregnancy. Later, physicians would diagnose based on the weight of the vomit caused by the mixture. Another method involving wheat and barley was for women who suspected pregnancy to soak these grains in their urine for a few days. If barley sprouted, it indicated a boy, and if wheat sprouted, it indicated a girl. While not foolproof, these methods were remarkably effective in the absence of modern pregnancy tests. 8. Ancient Egyptians loved board games. After a long day of hard work in the fields along the Nile River, ancient Egyptians often relaxed by playing board games. Some of these games were creatively devised and greatly cherished, including games like Menon and Dogs and Jackals. However, the most famous and widespread game was likely Senet. Senet is a strategic game dating back to 3500 BCE, usually played on a board with 30 squares. Each player had a set of game pieces moved along the board according to rolls of dice or throwing sticks. To this day, scientists still struggle to decipher the exact rules of the Senet game. Depictions of Queen Nefertari playing Senet and pharaohs like Tutankhamun, even being buried with Senet boards, are found in ancient artifacts. 9. Egyptian women had many rights. Although women had lower status compared to men, ancient Egyptian women enjoyed legal and financial privileges in society. Egyptian women could buy and sell their properties, create wills, and even sign various contracts. While women often did not work outside the home, if they did, they received equal pay for equal work, unlike in many other ancient societies. In stark contrast to ancient Greek women, who were considered possessions of their husbands, Egyptian women were independent. They could divorce and remarry if they wished. Egyptian couples were known to enter into prenuptial agreements, listing all the properties and assets the woman owned before marriage. These agreements served as safeguards for women's rights in case of divorce. 10. The pyramids were not built by slaves. The construction of the pyramids is commonly misunderstood as being accomplished through the labor of slaves, but the truth is quite different. Building colossal pyramids that could endure for thousands of years was not an easy task. Scientific research shows that the skeletons of laborers have signs of joint diseases and other illnesses. Evidence indicates that the workers were skilled craftsmen and hired laborers, who were paid for their work. The notion that slaves built the Egyptian pyramids under harsh conditions was first proposed by the Greek historian Herodotus in the 5th century BCE, but most modern historians reject this claim. In fact, ancient Egyptians did not harbor animosity towards slaves. They primarily used slaves as domestic servants and helpers within families.